I thought about saving this for a live stream topic, but I had to get this off my chest. I just got done reading this article that I saw while I was recording the last video about the X-Men, and I didn't want to do a video about Prey. I wasn't going to review it individually, which this is not a review. This is an article, again, from CBR.com, written by a complete, feckless, absolutely just soy-based beta male.
Closet racist, a beta male sex.
Yeah, this is just hilarious. Prey outshines Predator in almost every way. Prey, the newest entry in the Predator franchise, hit Hulu this past week, and it definitely outmatches the 1987 original almost every way. That is absolutely hilarious. We'll go through this article. We'll talk about it. You'll let me know what you think, but let's go. This came out about 8 hours ago.
Let's go!
And we see Amber Midthunder, which I called her Dollar Store Aubrey Plaza. When it comes to 80s cinema, a few films reach or exceed the genre-blending originality of 1987's Predator, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. It careened audiences into Central American jungle, along with a crack team of commandos led by Schwarzenegger's Alan Dutch Schaefer. On release, it was met with mixed reviews, but it's since gained reputation amongst the action, horror, and science fiction genres as a classic. Presently, it's considered one of the best films of the 80s, which makes sense. Predator screams 80s action movie right down to the most minute details. Unfortunately, this is precisely where the film falters, according to J.W. Clark. No, I'd say that's exactly where it succeeds. You know, the action genre in the 80s, a lot of your Chuck Norris movies, other action movies, I'm not going to list, there's a ton, but you didn't need a ton of character development to be able to enjoy the movie. And to say that taking a more dramatic route in a franchise just because it has a female lead, it makes it somehow a better film, because nothing about this film was better than the 87. Like, literally nothing about this film was better than the 87 film. So Predator is an 80s action movie across the board. For some, denoting something as an 80s action movie means thrilling, engaging, treat for the senses. Although, when others think of an 80s action movie, it often means an emotionless, explosion-filled, muscle-laden spectacle of cool concepts and iconic one-liners that ultimately rings hollow. Okay. So right there, that tells you everything you need to know about this guy. He doesn't appreciate the genre for what it is and wants to transform it into something that he thinks it should be. This is the problem with people like this. This is cultural Marxism. This is deconstruction. That's what this movie did to Predator. It deconstructed Predator, in my opinion. I know there's other people out there that thought it was great, and I look at it as it's not a full-on deconstruction, but it's a mild deconstruction, down to the fact that Amber Midthunder said that her character could take, or there was an article, I don't know if she said it, but it was compared, said that her character could take Dutch in a fight now. I mean, are we seriously here? Are we seriously here? Let me just say that she would have died. The Predator should have killed her 50 times over, but let her live. But because the plot needed the Predator to let her live. Yes, she was a skilled fighter, but there's no way she was taking out 15 seasoned hunters just because they were French. I was kind of like, I'll give it a pass. But no, in all seriousness, she would have died there. That would have been over with. Well, maybe she could have got the best of one of the Comanche hunters in her tribe because they were all young. But again, they knocked her the fuck out. So this whole, she could take Dutch. She killed the Predator. No, her brother did most of the heavy lifting. And her figuring out how to use the targeting system, I mean, miss me with that shit. Let's be honest. This movie wasn't about her. It was about that gun. That was the entire thing. Like, hey, let's make a movie to show off this gun. Which now we know that the Predators came back and just wiped out their whole tribe and took the gun back. And that's how Danny Glover got it. I mean, obviously they're not going to do... I don't know anything about the comics, but I know from people who have told me that this was a story in the comics. That's where the gun came from. But no, this whole phallus, she can take out Duck. Come on, folks. Are we seriously there? Is that where we are now? Is that where we are with these little beta male writers? This is hilarious. There are exceptions, of course. Predator, unfortunately, is not one of those, particularly due to the release of Hulu's Prey Thief, the latest entry in the Predator franchise. Viewers were exposed to what a film set in this universe truly could be, and it did no favors to the 87 original. What a... Biting my tongue.
Bite your tongue.
Prey, like Predator, is a bold, genre-blending beacon of originality. Though it's a technically predecessor to Predator, and audiences would assume it'd borrow heavily from the film, Prey feels like it belongs in an entirely different franchise. Yeah, you're right. It did feel like it belonged in an entirely different franchise there. J.W. Clark, please. All the creative choices that culminated in this film feel foreign. Everything's a lot slower, more considered. I don't know if I'd call it more considered. The cinematography is far more contemplative. Okay, I'm we're watching, this is an action genre. I'm not looking for contemplative cinematography, bud. You know, this motherfucker sounds like he should be writing for IndieWire, not CBR. Like, do you sit there and fart into the jar and shove it directly into your nose? Or, like, how do you do it? Like, what, a tube system? What are you doing there, fella? Like, and it's tough for me to call you a fella. I don't want to assume your gender.
No, absolutely not. I would say ma'am.
The score is far more understated. No longer do emotional conversations have to fight the score for the spotlight. Overall, Prey places far more of an emphasis on developing character as opposed to exhibiting set pieces, muscles, and action a la the original. That said, Prey is still an entry into the Predator franchise, so it absolutely has stylistic action, but it's utilized quite differently. I don't need emotional conversations in my action movie unless it's setting up an action sequence. You know, this is what are you talking about? Like, what is this? This makes no sense. Literally makes no sense. Predator is an action franchise. It's meant to be an action franchise. If you want to give a little bit of depth to the characters, yeah. But we're not looking for Oscar-winning writing, you know, in terms of the meaningful dialogue. I mean, what's next? Predator has to pass the Bechdel test because some fucking fat intersectional, you know, feminist with half her head shaved, an apartment full of 40 cats, gets upset because there's not two women having a conversation that doesn't directly involve them talking about a man. What?
I'm confused.
Instead of being used to enhance the scale, style, and scope of the film, these elements service the development of the film's lead, Nauru, not to be confused with the Naruto runner. Played wonderfully by Amber Midthunder, who is not Comanche, she's Sioux. And there's a marked difference. Representation matters. The tribe is all Comanche, but by God, don't find a Comanche actress. Let's get this girl.
This girl?
Played wonderfully by Amber Midthunder, there's a marked difference between Nauru and the characters of Predator, notably development. From the beginning, it's clear the story is about Nauru, her struggle and her dreams that nobody cared about. There's a sense that she has a life outside the events of this story, because they tell us that. They show us a few things. They show us she's practicing with her cute little Duncan yo-yo axe. And, you know, she's doing her cute little baseball slides. And, you know, that... it's so funny. Because I liked the first, like, 50 minutes of it. And after that, it just shit the bed. It just shit the bed. She doesn't exist just so the story can work. I think she does. Frankly, she's afforded so much characterization and so much life that's been so profoundly absent from the characters in previous Predator installments. It's genuinely perplexing. It's genuinely perplexing how this guy stands up to urinate.
Does he, though?
She has an axe, a dog in the year 1719, and she's a young woman of the Comanche Nation. She don't need no man. Due to the archaic views of her tribe, Nauru feels oppressed and limited. Okay, due to the archaic views of her tribe. Motherfucker, what is wrong with you? The archaic views of her tribe? Bitch, when the story took place, that shit, there was no fucking such thing as feminism these then. You know, I'm sorry. Women's rights weren't a thing then.
Not a thing.
I'm not saying that it should have been that way, but these weren't white people. These were fucking Comanche Indians, and they had a hierarchy to their fucking tribes for a reason. Everybody had a role. In order for things to function, everybody has to have a role. I'm not saying that there wasn't women that were probably awesome hunters, but I'm saying that was their norm at that time. And to say, for him to have the fucking hubris to say, oh, the archaic views of her tribe. They weren't archaic at the time. That's how things were, you fucking bitch. Holy shit. What a fucking idiot. Like, I'm all for fucking female empowerment, man, but not at the expense of men's fucking stepping on men. You know, just like I'm all for men being men, but not being a misogynist. That just because misogyny exists doesn't make misandry okay, and I'm not excusing real misogyny, not fake imagined, perceived misogyny that people on Twitter think exists around every corner. This is fucking hilarious. While groundbreaking and thrilling in its own way, Predator is the product of its time. Deconstruction right here. The 1980s were a time when characters necessarily didn't have to evolve personally and could just be people going through something unbelievable. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that style of movie. This guy takes exception to that because he's an art house fuck. Even so, Predator didn't quite give its characters the depth they necessitated. It deserves ludicrously high marks for creating the Predator creature, but Predator always felt like it prioritized its plot over the characters. Did it though? Ugh. What about Billy's sacrifice? I mean, this whole thing is just ridiculous. All the set pieces and mysterious plot elements are interesting, but audiences need a way into those people. They need some disclosure, some emotional vulnerability. We don't need feelings in hallways in an action movie, you bitch. Seeing someone fearful or in pain isn't enough. Until viewers know who these people are, what they really want, they won't feel for them in any significant way. That is what Prey got right. Dude, why don't you just...
Go fly a kite!
Demonstrating Nauru's physical and emotional vulnerability endowed her journey with tension and stakes. Seeing her resourcefulness, her knowledge, her suffering, how she's treated, and what she thinks of herself, it all informs the viewer's ability to feel for her and to root for her in a mightily horrid circumstance. There's certainly nothing wrong with an 80s action movie, but a film with demonstrable, multifaceted, complex human beings will always affect audiences on a deeper level. Seriously, this guy should be reviewing like fucking Lifetime movies or some shit. This is fucking hilarious. In Prey, many patient fans receive what they've been clamoring for from this franchise for years. The film is impeccably shot, beautifully acted, immersive, intriguing, and more importantly, its protagonist feels like a developed human being that grows and changes. Despite this widely held belief that Predator is utter perfection, Prey outdoes it in virtually every way. Succinctly, Prey dominates Predator. And this guy seriously sits when he pisses and probably has to get permission from his mommy to change his clothes. Let me show you here what I'm talking about. This here is J.W. Clark. Yeah. CBR feature writer J.W. Clark has possessed a love for eclectic movies, video games, and TV shows since they were a teenager. As they grow, so did... Oh, here, let's finish this bio. As they grew, so did this admiration as it gradually morphed into a passion. Consequently, oh my God, they attended a Bachelor of Narrative Communication at California State University, Fresno. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, this is... throughout their life, they've adored many creative works. Yeah, this is... exactly why you don't take these people seriously. When this is who's telling you how good Praise is. Like I said, man, it's a 5 out of 10 movie. The character is not going to take Dutch in a physical confrontation, hypothetically, if you match those two up in a fight. She didn't beat the Predator. Her brother did all the heavy lifting. And there's no way she kills 15 Frenchmen. in one scene, you know, without barely getting hurt at all. This movie was, like I said, it shit the bed after about 50 minutes. That was it. It wasn't worth me reviewing. And I reviewed 3 seasons of Batwoman, 82 Batwoman videos, and this movie wasn't worth reviewing at a 5 out of 10. So there you have it. What do you guys think? Now it's your turn. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think J.W. Clark these is right? Do you think this guy is right? This they them thing is right about Predator and Prey? You know, Predator being outshined in every conceivable way by this shite of a movie that really doesn't belong in this franchise at all. You know, they could show it on Oxygen and change the Predator into the Bad Orange Man, and then anyway. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you disagree, that's all right. You know, hit the dislike button. Leave your thoughts down there. Tell me why I'm wrong. Subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. Check out the live streams 3 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. You can become a channel member. We have Kazooian level. We have the Harvey Wakuian producer level. Check them out. I'm Etep Wakuian of the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. Big shout out to my editor, Good Stuff Comics Gator, for making the videos rock. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot to tell you. Do you want to send us stuff? Because this is how you send us stuff. We have a P.O. Box now. That's right. P.O. Box 924, Prudenville, Michigan 48657. If you have anything you'd like to send in to the Place to Be Reviews, that's where it goes, and that's where your packages will be coming from as well when I ship things out to you, my Kazooians.
Get your own.
Take that, you bitch!
No! What the hell?
How'd you like that?
Hey, joke's on you. I have hepatitis.